Hey y'all, welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead. I was gonna have more videos more related to building the cabin. Then the strangest thing happened to me. I guess I have goats now. And they're freaking adorable. So yeah, goats. Anyway, they needed a place to stay. So I built a goat house. I started with basically setting the posts around the perimeter. Well, let me back up. The first thing I did was acquire the posts. And by that, I mean cut up some red pine. Those are some of the logs that I got for the cabin build. I've got more. I'm actually ready to go on it, but instead I acquired goats. For some reason they needed a house first. Anyway, so I couldn't just leave the bark on them. The logs are still green, and I know they are not ready to go in the ground technically, or they shouldn't. I don't need the Facebook building inspections department getting on me for not using treated lumber. Have you seen the price of treated lumber today? It's like 16 bucks for 8-foot 4x4. I ain't got that kind of money. Anyway, I've got a way to treat them. I'll show you all that later. For now, they're in the ground. I also had to strip them. So, to do that, I use this nifty little tool that I bought a while back. It's called the Log Wizard. Before I go any further, I am not sponsored by them or anybody else. Ain't nobody has figured out a reason to pay me to live out here. It's made in Canada. Our super polite neighbors to the north. I love you guys. And all it basically is just a series of planer blades that attach to a standard chainsaw. I had this crappy little pull-in as a backup saw anyway, so it just drills into the bar. Please follow all manufacturers' instructions. Don't just listen to an idiot on the internet. And you just buy a chain that's 2 inches longer than whatever you would normally need for that bar. This thing is awesome. It chews through wood like a beaver on a 3-day meth bender. I'm gonna figure out a way to strap this camera to my head and show y'all how it works, because this thing is nifty. It's so awesome it's got me using the word nifty unironically. My headlamp will probably hold it. Pretty nifty, right? So I stripped the posts and I set all of them. But it wasn't just the posts that I really needed for this project. Fortunately, I'm a bit of a scavenger. And I'm in the right industry for being a scavenger, because I got all this lumber from my boss man. At one point, that right there, and all of this was a deck. He acquired it for free with the intent of putting it back together. Never really happened. Wanted it out of the yard. Well, I am happy to get it out of the yard, Dino. So all the rails and the purlins between everything are made out of the decking boards. Get out of there, chickens! That's for the goats. That's goat feed. Get out of there. Get out of there, Forrest. That belongs to the goats. The metal on the walls was actually metal that I brought up with me. Because when you pack up your life to go live in the woods, you bring the metal with you. I might have forgot some Christmas decorations, but I got the metal. So I framed everything out and put the door on. Naturally, I already had the hinges. Sometimes I think my bag of hardware just grows new hardware on its own, but I'm not complaining. In the name of conserving resources, I ripped down the 2x8s into essentially 2x4s. Everywhere that you go has different requirements when it comes to the required thickness of rafters, but generally speaking, if you go 1.5 times the nominal thickness in length, that span is good enough. So in this case, it's 6-foot span. They're cut down to 2x4s, kinda, and it'll hold. Hi Eeyore. We took the frame of the IBC tote, we put that in here, and that's going to be a feeder. We'll fill it up with hay and they'll be able to pull it out of there, and when I let them out for the day, they can also pull them out from the sides. Goats like to eat, so it's good to have snacks available. Hi Amelia. At the moment, I'm thawing out my water tank so that I can fill theirs up. There's all kinds of different options for keeping the water from freezing. Unfortunately, most of those options require electricity, which I don't have consistently. So we use the ancient Chinese method. When I wake up in the morning, I take a shovel to the ice and break it up. And with it buried in the ground, the vast majority of the water underneath that surface isn't going to freeze. even though the official frost line up here is 4 feet down, that's really more of a worst case scenario situation. Plus soon we're going to have permanent snow on the ground. Snow is a fantastic insulator, so it's only going to freeze down maybe a foot or so. We'll still be able to keep everything busted up and they'll have fresh water. So that's the setup. Hopefully a nice cozy little home for them for the winter. All in all, my total cost on this setup was about $3 in gas for the chainsaw. Now I'm fortunate because obviously I have easier access to materials, but people sell stuff or just give stuff away for free all the time. Watch Marketplace, pay attention to Craigslist. People want to get rid of a deck, go get it. It's free. As long as you can be flexible with design, you can even still make it look nice. Y'all think there wasn't at least one wagon that the pioneers had that got hacked into little pieces and turned into a goat pen because they needed a goat pen but not a wagon? Probably. I don't know. I wasn't there. But you get my point. Use what you got. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I love y'all, and God bless. We don't chase the goats. We don't chase them. Be a good boy.